another episode of The Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. Today, my guest is Taknequa Sylvine Hill. She has a bachelor's degree in sociology with a concentration in both social psychology and environmental sociology. She is currently working on her master's in public health with a focus on nutrition. Taknequa is also the owner of Moon Bunny Bakery, a vegan bakery that makes plant-based desserts for people with food-related illnesses such as celiac disease, diabetes, and other food allergies. I'd like to introduce her to you, so stick around. We'll be right back. Hi, Taknequa.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for being on the Vegan Pulse. Can you tell me about what motivated you to become vegan?
Well, one of the first things that motivated me to become vegan is that I have a family history of illnesses. And I, for one, have PCOS, which is polyovarian, Lord, I can never remember how to pronounce it properly. It's polycystic ovarian syndrome. It's a lot. But long story short, that means that there's more testosterone than estrogen in my body. So it can cause a lot of hormonal imbalances. So one day I realized that eating meat made my face break out a lot. And I started looking up stuff, and it turned out that a lot of meat has testosterone in it. So I decided, okay, I'm just gonna do an experiment and be vegetarian for a month. And that worked out great, but I still had some issues. So I was like, okay, well, let's be vegan for a month. And next thing I know, my hair is growing, my skin is glowing, I feel lighter. And I realized, veganism is kind of cool. It really does refresh the body. And so I started diving deeper into PCOS, and it turns out that it's kind of like the cousin to diabetes. So it was actually very appropriate for me to cut back on stuff that would raise my cholesterol, my blood pressure, and my blood sugar. So I love being vegan, and I definitely recommend it to all women who may suffer from a hormonal imbalance.
That's awesome. Now, you have an interesting background, and I'd like you to tell me and the viewers, why do you think people need to understand how their environment, both geologically, did I say it right finally? And socially. Why is it important for us to understand the environment? There you go. I'll just leave it at that.
To me, having that bond with nature can really get you out your comfort zone. And what I mean by that is if you take the time to learn more about your environment and who and what thrives in it, while also knowing and comparing those areas to different parts of the world, it can put you in a position of developing a deeper sense of curiosity towards not just your environment, but yourself and the universe. I'll use myself as an example. I grew up in the South here in Greensboro, North Carolina. We don't have mountains, we don't have trees, we just have heat. However, at a younger age, like maybe around 6 or 7, I took the time to study all the various bugs in my backyard. I was the only girl that loved playing with worms. And I would compare a lot of those creatures to what I saw on TV. And that drove me to learn more about the various ecological systems of our world and how I as a human being can connect with them. I think if I hadn't taken that time to really explore myself and the world around me, I wouldn't have appreciated how beautiful our existence really is. I think we as humans, we sometimes forget the fact that we created civilization to survive. But now at this point in human history, we probably benefit from reconnecting with nature. Because when you think about it, the earth is our house. It's fun to have some interior design projects and fix it up. But if you don't understand the foundation of that house is doomed to fall apart. And I personally don't know anyone who enjoys being homeless.
Correct. Right. And I know that you did some studies of birds. So tell me why we should listen to the birds.
Oh man, because the birds know all. I know that's weird to say, but when you think about birds, they're in the sky, they're in the trees, they're on the land, they're even in the ocean. They're they can tell us everything if you just observe them and watch them, because they know the migrational patterns, they know the earth's behavior. um, but not only do they know these things, they've also been a symbol of peace, and they've literally been messengers in both real life and in fictional stories. So I think that knowing the birds allows you to know more about the environment and nature as a whole. And all you got to do is just simply listen to them. You don't even have to study them to the full intent, but just simply listening to them and watching them, you learn a lot about our world and us as human beings and how the world just functions.
That is beautiful, really.
Thank you.
Now, you being this young, inspiring person who, for me, that's what you are.
Thank you.
You, at 29 years old, have also run for city council. Tell me a little bit about that experience.
Oh man, that was a very rewarding and interesting experience. It was, in the beginning, I kind of just was like, this sounds fun. I think I'll just I don't know how to swim, but I think I'm just going to jump in the deep pool anyways. So that was fascinating. One of the things I found out is that you have to have funding to run a successful campaign. And you also have to know who you are and what you want out of life. And that represents your policies, because there are a lot of people who, they'll talk and they'll talk, but if you really don't know where you stand in this world, it's very interesting to see how you compare to someone else. And when you do know where you stand in this world, it's very fascinating to see how many people actually agree with you. It's definitely a social psychological sort of experience. I really enjoyed it. I got to meet a lot of wonderful people, and I may do it again when I'm a bit more prepared, when I'm not just, trying to doggy paddle in the deep blue sea. So yeah.
That's awesome. The fact that you had the courage to do it, the fact that you are a young individual who stepped up to
Thank
try
you.
to change some things, I think that's awesome. And I think that that should inspire other people, whoever they are, wherever they are, to do whatever they can. And even, like you said, even jump into the fire and maybe brush off the cinders and just keep going, because that's the only way we learn and continue.
Yeah.
We have to have courage.
Yeah. Right. Because life, the only thing you can really expect out of life is that it's chaotic and it's always going to be an unknown, because we always live in the present. We never live in the future. So the future is always unknown. So it's like, okay, just do what makes you happy and just go for it. And if it doesn't work out, it's okay. You're not dead. You're just got to pick yourself back up again, and that's okay.
And try something else. Try it again or do something different. It's a learning curve, right?
Exactly. And it promotes growth in a lot of ways. So
And then I want to ask you about the Moon Bunny Bakery and what is so special about it, because there is a special thing about it. So tell me all about it.
Um, so Moon Bunny Bakery is my bakery that I created a couple of years back. People ask me, why do you call it Moon Bunny Bakery? I was actually inspired to call it Moon Bunny Bakery because I grew up watching Sailor Moon. To me, she represented what it means to be a strong woman, with also the ability to stand up for what you believe in, and also surround yourself by positive people. And Moon Bunny Bakery, because I haven't said exactly what it is. Moon Bunny Bakery is a vegan bakery that is designed for people with food-related illnesses or allergies such as celiac disease, diabetes, food allergies, and people who just kind of want a healthier lifestyle without the nasty side effects. I created this bakery because of a lot of my personal illnesses, my PCOS, but I was also inspired by my late sister, who passed away from cancer, and she really motivated me to go for my goal, for my dreams. She definitely was a big part of it. Another part was I was very sad to see children like 5 years old at birthday parties who couldn't even eat the cake. They couldn't enjoy themselves because they either have an egg or a nut or a dairy allergy. And it really breaks my heart, because it's like, how are you 5 at a birthday party? You can't even eat the cake. No. So I designed this bakery for that. And what's also unique about the bakery is that the recipes are created through food science. So I literally studied the chemical components of the ingredients, the fat consistencies, figuring out how to use the best butters, the best oils, the best binders, while also promoting a healthy lifestyle and adding healthy ingredients. So it's something very special to me, and it's something that I hope that the community finds special as well, because it's for us as human beings to nourish our bodies, be vegan, and still indulge.
That's awesome. And when I heard you say it, I want to say it. Moon Bunny Bakery, Moon Bunny Bakery, Moon Bunny Bakery. It's just a great song. I like it.
Thank you.
and you are working on a website for that, right?
Yes, I am.
Oh, especially because of this COVID thing. And we'll have information about you, how to get in touch with you. And then maybe as you develop your outreach and stuff like that, you'll be able to offer it to all of us, because I want a Moon Bunny Bakery cake or something.
In the meantime, while the website's still being worked on, definitely check out the Facebook page. It has pictures. It has my growth, because the more you learn about food science and baking, the more you grow as an artist. So I'm hoping that once that website's ready, we're ready to just get it going.
Awesome. Taknequa, thank you so very much for taking the time to be on the Vegan Pulse. I surely appreciate you. You're an inspiration. You really, truly are. As I said, this is about people, everyday people, going out there and trying to promote veganism, trying to promote compassion, and anyone can do it. And it doesn't have to be one particular thing. There's so many different things that you can attach yourself to that will work. We don't all have to be the same person, right?
Exactly. It would make the world a duller place if we were, I believe. So I appreciate you having me on here. This was a wonderful experience, and I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Thank you for watching another episode of The Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. Follow us on Facebook, check out our blog, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and remember, if you have a pulse, you have a purpose. Live vegan.